The halfway stage of the 2024 FIA Formula One World Championship brings intense competition to a country where the title battles first began in 1950. We are in the United Kingdom at the Silverstone circuit, crossing the borders between two counties and providing a fascinating challenge of fast sweeping curves, several tight sections, long straights and unpredictable weather. We're all set for the start of the British Grand Prix, halfway through the 2024 season. Lights out, away we go. George Russell gets a good getaway. Lewis Hamilton tucks in behind. Watch out for Max Verstappen on the inside of Lando Norris behind. But George Russell comfortably through the first corner into turns 2 and 3. And Verstappen has to keep a little bit of an eye on Piastri behind him. Lando Norris now putting pressure on Hamilton, but runs a wheel over the curve. Verstappen's got the outside line. That works really well for Max Verstappen. He gets in front of the McLaren.
And he's going to have a chance at passing Lewis Hamilton immediately as well. Lewis checks the mirror down the Wellington straight here towards Brooklands, and he doesn't need to go defensive. Verstappen, though, has made a crucial pass there on Norris.
Yeah, that is absolutely crucial. It was a clean pass too, after all the incidents they had last time out in Austria, but Norris is not going to give up. Piastri's right there with them. I tell you what, though, this is good pace immediately from the Mercedes. Both George Russell and Lewis Hamilton are easing away a little bit, if anything.
Well, it's early days, yeah. Russell sweeps into Copse. Hamilton is right with him as they turn in. Super fast corner, and now they're into the adrenaline action of this Silverstone lap. Copse, Maggots and Beckett sweeping through the high speed, and look, Hamilton is able to stay really close in the dirty air, applying pressure to his teammate, and Verstappen's going with him. Then there's a slight bigger break to Lando Norris. Now let's have a look. Norris goes to the outside of Hamilton. Verstappen is on his apex. Norris is a little bit wide, and then he just gets blocked in behind Lewis Hamilton on the inside of turn 4, and it's a nice position for Verstappen to sweep around the outside. A lovely move from Max. Yeah, Lando just puts himself in a bit of a precarious position there with Lewis Hamilton nowhere near alongside to commit to that on the outside. It was just drifting wide, and Max picked up the pieces nicely.
Now let's see what contact here for Alex Albon.
Oh, that's the contact. So it was in the melee with Hulkenberg, but it was actually Fernando Alonso that he hit. Hulkenberg had gone off. Alonso was just bulked in. Let's have a look. Nico goes off there on the right-hand side, and then he's out of shot. Comes back on. I think that's just a bit unlucky, really, on the first lap. Russell controlling the pace, just eking out the gap to Hamilton. The gap from Hamilton to Verstappen is now over 2 seconds. There go the two Mercedes. And then you see Max in the background, drifting away from the top two. And if the Mercedes could put a gap here, they give themselves a bit of margin.
Rain expected in 7 laps, lasting for 10 minutes.
And if it's heavy rain, 10 minutes of it is going to really change things.
Charles Leclerc still keeping the pressure on the green Aston Martin as they head down towards no corner, and Charles Leclerc has a good dive down the inside this time, and Stroll didn't seem to fight that too hard. Charles Leclerc zips past, made it look quite easy.
In the end it was. There's a spot of rain on the camera as well. I think we are about to get to that moment. Norris is within DRS range of Verstappen, so he's choosing this time to try and close the gap and up the pressure on Max, who's 3 seconds away from the Mercedes. Here we go, on board with Lando Norris. This is as close as he's been to Max Verstappen for a while. Another spot of rain on the camera lens.
We saw so many battles last time out in Austria, and sadly it went wrong in the contact that happened between them. We've seen them first and second a number of times this year. At the moment they're not fighting for the win, but who knows how this might work out as we go through the change in weather conditions. For now, Max is holding him off.
Just keep me posted if I know what's going on. Let's go down slightly harder now. Will do.
Just bear in mind there could be just some tiny slippery patches, and as we saw yesterday, Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen both had issues going into this next corner in qualifying, so Verstappen will maybe be a bit anxious, although he took good pace through there.
Norris is close. 4/10 into Maggots and Beckett. If he can hold this through the high speed, which is a big if, but it will give him a chance into Stowe at the end of the hangar straight. That's where Leclerc passed Stroll. That's coming up right now, and this could be a chance for Lando.
You're absolutely right. He was quick through Beckett's, quicker than I expected. He's got DRS. Lando Norris is going on the attack, and he passes Max Verstappen. Massive cheers from the grandstands as Lando Norris gets past his huge rival. Norris up into third.
Well, I never. Max said the last thing he wanted to do was crash into Lando, but he didn't defend at all. After all the fight they had in Austria, you'll never find an easier pass on Max Verstappen than the move that Lando has just pulled. Let's have a look at it. Staring back from the Red Bull, stays to the outside and waves him through. Unbelievable.
Right now, it looks, as we have seen, that McLaren have definitely got an advantage. We did see that in Austria last week as well. And now that Piastri's got that chance, we have to keep an eye on this, because you're on board with Oscar Piastri. And the Australian is really getting that much closer. Whether he's going to be as close as Lando Norris was, let's see. He's got DRS in operation. He's getting that extra straight line speed as they head down towards Stowe Corner. He goes for the inside, and yeah, he's through as well, as long as he can make the corner. It's a bit slippery.
It's raining. It's really slippery. He took the inside line and then immediately thought he'd got in deep. Look, the umbrellas are going up. Verstappen has been passed again, and again he didn't defend it. This is a different side to Max Verstappen at the British Grand Prix, and he is falling down the order. The McLarens are coming into their own, and look at Hamilton. He's within DRS range of George Russell. It's race on at the front.
So target would be to try to survive this pocket of rain, Max, if you can. Obviously your call if conditions worsen too much.
This is it. This is Hamilton now at full flow. The track's getting slippery. Russell's feeling cautious. They've just lost 3 seconds of lap time on the last tour, and Hamilton's got a lot more confidence than his teammate.
He has, breaking very, very late into Brooklands. Look how quickly he's going in these tricky damp conditions. Lewis Hamilton is loving this. We've seen some remarkable performances from him in the wet here in the past. 2008, his first win of the British Grand Prix was astonishing in the wet, and he's right there with his teammate, as you said, and he's going to be not only in DRS zone, he's going to be right with him as they come through Maggots and Beckett's, the fast section. But remember, it's slippery. You've got to be cautious in some areas and know where the grip is. He seems to know right now.
DRS is still enabled, and Hamilton's going to get it, and he's going to draft straight past Russell here.
George Russell trying to defend from his teammate. Can he do anything? I don't think he can. Lewis Hamilton takes the lead of the British Grand Prix from his teammate. Mercedes still running 1-2 in the damp conditions, but Hamilton becomes race leader once again here at Silverstone, and there are more cheers in the crowd, but there are supporters for all of the British drivers that are still top 3 right now. Early stages still. We've got a long way to go in this race, and conditions will continue to change, but Hamilton taking the lead with that fraction over his teammate George Russell. Oh, both off, both run wide.
And we'll look out for Norris, who stays on the track. Is he going to close right into the pack as well? Russell rejoins just ahead of Norris. Piastri's off in the background. It's really chucking it down, and none of them have pitted. Norris to the inside.
Lando Norris takes second place. That was brilliant stuff by Lando Norris. He saw the two Mercedes running deep, and he managed to brake a little earlier.
Yeah, they both rejoined very unsafely.
I don't think that's a problem. He's made it past George Russell now, and I think that's going to be a complaint on deaf ears from Lando Norris. When you're off the road at high speed there, you just want to get back to the track. It's slippery conditions, and Norris made the pass anyway on George Russell. DRS has been disabled now because it's low grip conditions officially. The message has come up, so that helps Hamilton with Norris just 1.3 seconds down and bearing in on the lead. This is Pete. Look at the spray coming off.
Yeah.
They're on slick still.
They are. They're on slick tyres.
From Norris.
This is incredibly challenging for drivers in these conditions. When you're on slick tyres in wet conditions like this, Lando Norris wiggle and wobble. Lewis Hamilton, though, once again, taking advantage of these kind of conditions, although he pulled away a touch. Now it's come back down again. In towards Stowe they go.
Ruth, is the rain going to keep falling? Do they need to pit for inters, or is it going to be immediately drying up again?
Well, yes to both. The track is getting slower and slower. We're now running about 108%. If it hits around 112 before we get through this pocket, then they will have to box. Otherwise, everyone's trying to hold on. Rain, gap, and then big rain coming later.
Look how close Lando Norris is to Lewis Hamilton. There's a real chance he's going to overtake in an unusual area. He's done it. Lando Norris now takes the lead of the British Grand Prix and gets through that corner where there were so many incidents, and now Hamilton's actually back under pressure from his teammate.
So Hamilton found the grip first. Now he just looks like he's struggling. Russell's there. Piastri around the outside. Can he do the Verstappen move on the first lap? Yes, he can, if he can get the power down. George keeps it in on the inside.
Oh, Piastri gets the place, wobble, and he's up into third position. This is so tight.
So Leclerc pits. This has got to be inters, surely, for Charles Leclerc then, thinking that it's just too wet. But it's on a knife edge to whether it's actually worth taking a set of intermediates. Piastri now looking around the outside. He'll get good traction off this corner to go and attack Hamilton.
Look at the lead that Lando Norris is opening up. It's already opening up hugely. We're back on board with Piastri, trying to get past Lewis Hamilton. Not into Stowe Corner, he doesn't do it. That is a bit of a risky area, but he will be into a very, very good zone as they go down towards Stowe. They're through Maggots and Beckett's now. These sweeps one way and then the other, and it is wet here. Be careful. Otherwise, it's so easy to go and run them wide.
Hamilton's in trouble. Piastri's got a beautiful line on the exit. This could be a McLaren 1-2.
It does look like it. Oscar Piastri getting alongside Lewis Hamilton. Just has to finish the move. Down into Stowe Corner, and he's done it. He's into second place as long as he can hold it together. Yes, that corner's been working very well for him. Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri. It's now a McLaren 1-2.
And all of the top cars stay out. Look at Sainz in the background is catching Max Verstappen now as well. All of the top cars stay out. Leclerc pitted for Inters. So is Perez, so is Ocon. And it's just whether this rain is going to continue to fall or if it's passing.
And Luce, we think it's time to jump to Inters. Let us know what you think.
Nope.
Okay, copy.
It's dry in a lot of places.
Okay.
We've got other people who are trying to move up further down the order as well, so it's fascinating to watch.
The grip level is just going.
Yep, the track is at 107. It's getting wet, exactly the same.
It's for the lead.
Look at this, Lando Norris under even more pressure now from Oscar Piastri. Piastri getting closer and closer. DRS not available now, but that doesn't matter when you've got a slippery track like this. If you feel you can find some grip, big sideways moment.
Oh, beautiful stuff from all of the top three because Hamilton was out of shape coming through Vale as well. Piastri has a chance. Verstappen's going to pit and Red Bull now roll the dice, which may work because it looks like this is the time to come in for intermediates.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that might be a very good move to come in right now. Sainz coming in as well, because as the track is getting wetter, going on to intermediates, Red Bull have made that choice early.
These guys are going to have to double stack at the end of this lap as well. You've got two McLarens and then two Mercedes shadowing them, and if the rain continues to fall, then they're going to have to both come in on the same lap, surely. Verstappen can have more confidence on his intermediate, and this may bring him closer to the front of the race.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Let's see. Are they both being told to come in, or is it only Norris? It's only Norris who's told to come in, but this could hurt Piastri later. Hamilton's told to come in.
Mercedes double stack. Russell's in behind him.
That makes sense to me, and I'm surprised in a way McLaren haven't done that, because surely you'd lose more than the 3 seconds you'll sit behind your teammate if you're out on track, won't you?
McLaren missed a beat by not pitting one of their drivers on the same lap that Verstappen and Sainz pitted. Verstappen is now 3 seconds clear of Sainz, and he's driving nicely on this outlap. Norris and the two Mercedes are in. This is the problem for Mercedes. They're double stacking, but that was neat on Lewis Hamilton's car. Neat enough at 3 seconds. Norris 2.8, and where is Max Verstappen?
Yeah, he's on his way, but Max Verstappen, as you say, could be in very good form here. Although I think, let's just see if we'll see them coming out of the pits. You'll see Verstappen actually.
That's Perez first, so that's Perez, and there's Verstappen behind Hamilton, but now ahead of George Russell. Piastri will be struggling on this in-lap. He was looking really good as the rain fell, but he was 20 seconds away from a dry pace on the last lap, so this is really going to hurt Oscar Piastri.
Hülkenberg went on to intermediates at a good time, but he's quite some way behind Carlos Sainz, because Sainz came in on the same lap as Max Verstappen, and Piastri, you could see, look at the order, he's just dropping down that order, and we shall wait to see whether Hülkenberg, no, he's out well in front of Hülkenberg, in fact.
Look at the rain still teeming down. This is proper wet conditions now. Piastri emerges in 6th position. He was in 2nd.
On board with Kevin Magnussen, what was he up to? Oh! My goodness, he did well to save that.
I have seen many a car end up on that inside barrier. You get out wide and look at the moisture coming off that the painted surface on the outside.
So we need to box, or retire the car, George.
Oh my goodness, the man who started from pole position, who took victory last week in Austria, he is out of the British Grand Prix. Oh, he's never had a podium here, and it continues, this time with a DNF. Oh, shake of the head for George. What a shame for the star qualifier yesterday. It has not gone well for him.
McLaren talking crossover now to a slick. The sun is poking out now. You can see it shining on the helmet and the visor of Lando Norris.
The sun's coming out.
Well, there you are. Lewis confirms exactly what you said, Jolyon. The sun is coming out, but Lando Norris very nearly lost it then. He's got great reaction though, hasn't he?
Competitor cars do not have medium. Currently we think medium is the right tyre. 15 laps to go.
Yes, it's the best.
Okay, so they feel the medium tyre might be best, but soft tyres are going on straight away for Kevin Magnussen. And Daniel Ricciardo coming into the pits, and Hamilton being told to pit. So Hamilton, will Norris come in on the same lap?
No, it won't. Hamilton's in, and Norris stays out. He comes past the commentary box. This is the crucial lap. Verstappen's in as well, same lap.
So this is fascinating. Is this going to be the right decision to go onto the slick tyres on this lap? Interestingly, Verstappen has come in as well. And Ruth, you think it is? She's got thumbs up. As a strategist, you feel it's right. Well, we will find out soon.
Soft tyres. Hamilton had to just hold in the pit stop as well. 2.9 seconds.
We need the Fox. The soft is better now. Any slick tyre.
In he comes. This has got to be perfect.
It has.
Hamilton was a second and a half quicker in the middle sector. McLaren might have blown it by staying one extra lap, and Lewis is going to come through if Lando has a decent pit stop with tyres fired up and a chance to win. Lando's so long in his box as well.
It's not a great stop, and Hamilton's just going out of the club corner and heading on down past the start-finish straight. He's going past us, and Lewis Hamilton, I think, is going to be in front as they come out. Yes, there's Hamilton. Hamilton comes out in front of Lando Norris, and the pit stop that Mercedes chose was perfect from that point of view. It has switched the two leaders around, and it's multiple British Grand Prix winner Lewis Hamilton who is now back in front.
McLaren. The strategies today have not been good at all. Lando was so long in his pit box as well, and almost a full metre long, which meant it was a slow stop to boot. But look, Hamilton has these tyres fired up, and it's not even close. He's 2 seconds clear. He's in the race lead on soft tyres going to the end, and there is 12 and a half laps for him to negotiate. Norris struggling to turn the car, that left front starting to feel the pain maybe, and Verstappen on the hard tyre looks like a really good call from Red Bull. It's come alive, and this is more the Verstappen that we're used to seeing now, on the prowl, trying to take second place, and if he can stay 4 tenths away, this is ominous now for the Hangar Straight coming up.
You're absolutely right. Watch them through here. If the gap closes between Verstappen and Lando Norris through this part, it stays fairly... No, it's actually a good exit from Max there, though, and the DRS will be coming in. This is a chance to close right in on Lando Norris. Here comes Max Verstappen. He moves to the outside, and he makes the move. He's up into second place, and Lando was not able to fight that.
No, nothing he could do. Verstappen was just too quick. Norris tried to cover the inside, but the straight line speed of the Red Bull, the DRS and the slipstream just charged him round the outside. Now, with the fastest lap of the race, 3.3 seconds, is Hamilton too far away? Can Verstappen do anything about the race leader? Now he can see him in his sights. 6 tenths, he was quicker than Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton's been driving nicely though and is very consistent in his lap times.
And the gap is holding pretty consistently at this point. Just over 3 seconds as Hamilton has to deal with getting past some of the back markers as well. Next one that he's coming past, well, we shall just have to see if he keeps it clean. Daniel Ricciardo is his next target, and it should be very straightforward. Ricciardo fully experienced, of course. His teammate, Yuki Tsunoda, is on target for the final point, and each point matters hugely to that team. He's driven superbly. He's at the very height once again of his abilities that we have seen so many years. The 7 times world champion who's had such great rivalries with Max Verstappen, who's been missing out on a race win now for nearly 3 years. He is about to head for victory as he comes into the final corners here at Silverstone. The crowds are going crazy. Lewis Hamilton wins the British Grand Prix. He takes his 9th win at Silverstone, his first win in nearly 1,000 days in Formula One, his 104th victory ever. Absolutely brilliant, and he's become the 5th different winner this year, which opens it up even more as we go into the second half of the season.
Amazing race. A huge result for Lewis Hamilton. Smiles and cheers at Mercedes. What is it about Silverstone that just works for Lewis Hamilton? He can have an average car and get to a podium. If he's in with a sniff of victory, he pretty much always takes it. His record here is remarkable.
Get in there, Lewis! You're the man!
Thank you so much, guys. It means a lot. It means a lot to get this one. And a big thank you to all the fans here. Love you guys.
And what a sign-off for our joint trajectory here on the British Grand Prix. We couldn't wish for anything better.
This is a lovely moment, isn't it? And you can see the emotion, even though we can't see his face, you can feel the emotion in Lewis with his dad. And this is a really special moment. Hamilton has taken victory at the British Grand Prix at Silverstone, his most successful track in history, and he's done it with Mercedes on a key day. Wet and dry, difficult times. Lewis has controlled it all and taken the win.